lasers are a way that squares that circle that problem that we've had in the past of how to destroy these minute buzzing drones that are ever present over our lives, our cities, and, for example, over the battlefields of Ukraine at the moment.
Britain is to establish a new laser centre focused on developing high-energy projects that can take out incoming targets within seconds. Here to tell us more is Tim Ripley, defence analyst at Jane's Defence Weekly and author of Little Green Men, the inside story of Russia's military power. Tim, well, that's quite a title there. Tim, good evening.
Thank you.
Why are we turning to lasers as a form of national defence? What is this all about?
Well, this is what's called non-lethal, non-explosive defence. I mean, we all know about high explosive bullets, shells, things that explode, and it can be a rather inefficient way of destroying a target, such as a plane or a missile or a UAV, a drone, that are very difficult to hit. And so lots of very clever people have come up with new technology to try and come up with new weapons. And this is one of the answers to that conundrum.
And what kind of technology are we talking about? Are we talking about something very new or something pretty old? Because I think we've been using lasers for quite some time.
Yes, we have lasers for some time, but we've never really had the power to make these lasers really effective as weapons. I mean, the military have used lasers for a couple of decades as like a blinding device to dazzle the eyes of pilots, to effectively blind them when they approach ships or key targets, or to blind the sensors in some types of guided missiles. But now that they've met some quite significant advances in power supply, they've got lasers that can burn through certain types of aircraft. And UAVs are a good example of this because they're quite flimsy. So you can do a lot of damage with not very much power, or not as much power as you'd need to down a big aircraft, a really, really, sort of robust plane. So these
I was going to say, Tim, has this emerged because of the debate about cost cutting? I mean, the current discussions in the Tory leadership contest notwithstanding, the current Prime Minister, the outgoing Prime Minister, has made a lot of being, the great defender of the MOD and the military budget, but at the same time, the manpower and woman power is going to be at its lowest for generations, isn't it?
Well, in theory, using this kind of system, you can save money because you don't have to buy shells and bullets and explosives.
Yep.
But lots of other countries are going on the same route because it's quite an efficient way of destroying UAVs, which are very hard to destroy because they're very small and they're very difficult to track with normal anti-aircraft weapons. So this is a new science, new technology that's coming into play to defeat these drones that are ever present. We all see them all over around, flying over parks and cities, but these are really difficult to destroy with traditional weapons. So lasers are a way that squares that circle that problem that we've had in the past of how to destroy these minute buzzing drones that are ever present over our lives, our cities, and, for example, over the battlefields of Ukraine at the moment.
Right, and you're a specialist on Russia's military power. I presume the Russians have also got onto this too.
Oh yes, that they've got some, and that they're using them for air defence. They have several that they've deployed to try and protect their nuclear missile silos because they consider them their most prized military assets, and they're designed to take out the guidance systems of American cruise missiles that are trying to attack their missiles, or they think might attack their missile silos. So lots of countries are going down this route because they can see the potential. And if you think about it, we're in an era where we want a renewable energy. You could have your laser battery that's deployed somewhere in Russia or Ukraine or the African desert, and it recharges its batteries with solar power, so it doesn't need to be resupplied with shells or ammunition. So that's quite a revolutionary technology that will transform how you operate on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. So it's not all about cost saving. It does actually do something that you can't do at the moment.
We're talking about a company called Raytheon UK, and it's got a European hub in Livingston and West Lothian, should I say, and it's going to work with the Ministry of Defence to test and maintain these defensive high-energy weapons. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Tim. That's Tim Ripley, defence analyst at Jane's Defence Weekly and author of Little Green Men, the inside story of Russia's military power. This is Henry Bonsu on Times Radio, fast approaching the news at 8.